Good morning, everybody. Hi. If you're joining me for the first time, my name is Karen Kong, and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Ottawa, Ontario, and welcome to my This or That Thursday. So every week I try to post 2 cards, and I ask my crafting community to vote on a card for me to make live on Thursday mornings. And this week it was a tie between the 2 cards. Let me just quickly show you. So here were the 2 cards, and we're going to make this one this morning. And I think what I'll do is I'm going to save this one and take a look, for next week. Keep an eye on what is posted for next week. So if you're joining me live, please say hi and let me know you're there, because I really hate talking to myself because I'm not a good conversationalist just talking to me. So I'm just going to get set up on my computer so I can see all your comments and make sure that I'm streaming to the right place. So just a second. Morning, Shannon. Let's see. Okay. Oh, there I am. Okay, I'm set up live now. Good. All right. So, yeah, so this week I was focusing on using up scraps of paper, and the scrappy strip technique is the one that I used for the penguin card, and then the other one's called a Sunburst card. So I had a lot of fun creating those. They were actually much easier than I thought. And I was actually able to post them early this week, which was really nice for me, because I'm usually like sweating it out like on Wednesday trying to figure out what I'm going to make, and this was an easier week. So, and I actually have an idea for next week already, so I think it's gonna go well. So anyways, let's get started. I'm gonna switch my camera over to my desk, so just close your eyes, don't get dizzy. Give me a moment here, okay? Just a second. All right, I'm just going to set up. Hi, Sandra. Here we go. Let me just see. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. You know what? I set up my camera every week, and I swear to God, it like changes. And I'm wondering if like my camera for the camera app uses a different camera than the one for Facebook Live. Like there's 3 little cameras on this phone, and it's not in the right place when it's just not in the right place when I set it up afterwards. So anyways, sorry, I'm just going to, I can see that I'm too far up. Okay, so I'm going to move my stand just a little bit. Sorry, close your eyes, it's going to be a little bumpy. So we're almost at Halloween, and usually we do our pumpkins, we carve our pumpkins like a week and a half, 2 weeks in advance, so we kind of have time to enjoy them and fight off. But then we're fighting off squirrels who take off with like the pumpkin top and stuff. But I forgot this week. It was just, I don't know, Halloween snuck up on me. I knew it's coming and everything, but I just bought our pumpkins yesterday, and like Halloween's on Monday. So we're going to be, carving this weekend, just days before Halloween. I should have been doing it last weekend, but oops. Oh well. Does everybody else have their their pumpkins all carved and ready? I'm just reading Shannon's comment. I was just getting distracted. She says she sets up using Facebook Live. Oh, I see. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I'll do that next time. I was using the camera app, and obviously it's not the same. Ugh. So, okay. So I think this is a little bit better. All right. So, yeah. So we're carving this weekend. It'll be kind of last minute, but the kids always look forward to eating the pumpkin seeds afterwards. So we will do that this weekend. Okay, so with the card, this card I used the Brightest Glow stamp set and the die to cut this part out, but everything else is just straight cutting with the paper trimmer. Oh, okay, so I'm not the only one doing last minute pumpkin carving. Shannon's going to buy her pumpkins today. Awesome. All right. Okay, so yeah, this card technique, really, I mean, like you can do this with just straight paper cutting and decorate this, you know, in the middle with whatever you like, really. I mean, you could use like a penguin, perhaps. But I do like the circle because it is called the Sunburst technique, and because it does look like a sun's rays. So I really liked how it turned out, and it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. I'd never tried it before this. So I used the Lights Aglow DSP, and I needed 6 little pieces of paper. So I'm gonna move this out of the way so that you can see. So I think I'll just tell you that it's Cherry Cobbler and Evening Evergreen, which is basically the colors in the DSP that I used. So I'm going to move these out of the way now. I'll set these aside. Okay, so if you're joining for the first time, I always post the measurements for all the pieces that I use in the description of the video after the video has been posted. And so you don't need to rush to write things down, okay? So there's 6 pieces of DSP that I chose. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to slice them on the diagonal, each one of them. And of course there is a card base, and then there's 2 mats, okay? So the one mat that we're going to glue everything onto, and then the one that you adhere this to once you've trimmed it down, okay? So let me do the trimming. I'm going to get my paper trimmer out, and let's make the card base first. So I cut these ahead of time because I had to find the right size scraps and make sure they were all different patterns. So that's what I did ahead of time before the live, so that I wouldn't have to do it you know, while you guys were watching, because that was a little bit more time consuming. So yeah, see, these are all 1.5 inches wide, and this is like 2 inches, 3 inches, 4 and 4.5 inches. So those are all done, and I'll just put these aside for now, and we'll do the cardstock mat and card base, okay? I'm hoping by the time I'm done, like all my lives until Christmas, I will have enough Christmas cards to give everybody a Christmas card on my list. That's the plan. I haven't actually counted anything yet. Okay, so let's grab a Cherry Cobbler for my card base. So these are 8.5 by 11 sheets, regular size sheets, and I'm going to grab one Evening Evergreen. Okay, so the card base is a regular card base, which is half a sheet of an 8.5 by 11. So on the paper trimmer, I'm just going to measure out 5.5 inches on the long edge to cut it in half. Okay, I'm going to use, this is the scoring blade. I already made a mistake this week and cut one of my pieces of paper instead of scored it, which was not a happy moment. So just a reminder, this is the cutting blade down here. Oops, I'm off the screen. I just realized that. Okay. Just make sure this is lined up properly. 5.5. Okay. And I'm using the cutting blade. Okay, the dark one is the cutting blade. Then I'm going to turn it and I'm going to score it so that I can get a nice fold. So I'm going to measure to 4 1/4, which is halfway on the short side, what used to be the short side, and I will use the scoring blade. Okay, so that's my card base. Okay, I need to this paper trimmer still. All right, I'm going to cut my mats now. The mats are, let me just check the measurements. 3 3/4 by 5 and 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to cut a 5 1/4 piece first, and I'll trim it down. Okay, so 5 1/4. Okay, and I am going to use the cutting blade. Yes, the cherry cobbler is a beautiful red for Christmas. 5 1/4 and 4 inches for one piece. So I'm going to measure to 4 inches right now. Okay, that's my larger piece. So I'm going to set that aside. And the other piece is 3 3/4 by 5. So I'm going to trim this one down to 5 inches. Inches by 3 3/4, I said. Okay, so 3 3/4. Okay, so this is my smaller mat. Okay, so, oh, I still need my paper trimmer. Shouldn't take it away. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to cut all my little rectangles. Okay, so I'm going to cut them on the diagonal from corner to corner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up with the cut line here with the groove. So I'm just making sure my corners are in the groove, lined up with the groove, and then I'm going to cut them. Actually, I prefer going this way. There. Okay, so I'm going to do that for every single one of those the rectangles until I have all triangles. Okay. So something else that I've been doing is I've been going back to the gym, which I think I told you ladies before, and I dug out my old gym lock, and would you know it, I forgot the numbers. I've forgotten the combination, and now I'm trying to figure out what the combination is to that lock because I cannot remember. It's been like 2.5 years since I used it. So yeah, I've been Googling how to figure out your combination lock when you've forgotten, and it's I've tried one method and it didn't work yet, and there's other ones that involve a lot of math, and you'd think me being a math person I would like that, but I looked at it and I just thought, oh my gosh, that's a lot of work to figure it out. But I may end up having to do that. I don't know. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping that it'll suddenly come to me. I don't know. What are the chances? I should have written it down, but I can't. And I thought I did, and apparently I did not, because I can't find it anywhere. Maybe I put it in a secret safe place that I can't remember either. I don't know. I think that's the problem. When you try to hide things in a good spot, you forget. I have hidden candy and forgotten where I hid it. God help me when I find that candy, because it may not look very nice anymore. You guys ever done that? Hide the candy or hide presents and then you've forgotten where you put it? I'm sure I'm not the only one. Okay, so this is the last one. All right, so all my rectangles are cut now. Okay. All right, I think I can put this aside now. All right, so the next thing I have to do is I'm going to take the smaller mat, okay? And I'm going to measure 1.5 inches from the left edge and 1 3/4 from the top, okay? So let's see. Unfortunately, this is the centimeter side of my grid paper, but let me just figure out. I'm going to measure my 1 3/4 from the top. So I'm going to measure 1 3/4 is here. So I'm going to line that up with the cross here. So then I don't have to, whoops, 1 3/4. Is that right? 1 3/4. Try not to stick my head in the way because it's a little bit of a different angle. Doesn't have to be perfect, I guess. 1 3/4 is there, and then I'm going to measure 1.5 inches from the left edge. So 1.5 is here. So this is going to be approximately the center of my sunburst. Okay, and it's okay to mark it because you're going to cover it up anyways with the circle. All right. And now it is a matter of lining things up and choosing which ones you want in the on the mat. Okay, so I'm not sure I chose the exact same colors for the sizes, but let's see if it works out. So you're just going to line things up, and so that your centers meet up in the middle. They may overlap, they may not, depending on how you place them. But you're going to need like the longest pieces, like maybe I think what I did was I lined this one up. This is like one of the longer pieces here. So I'm just going to lay them out because I want to know what order they're in before I start gluing, because I don't want two reds next to each other. Okay, so let's try this. And I'm going to leave a slight gap. Okay, so there's like just a little gap in between them. I think it looks nicer. Some of the sunbursts that I've seen. Yes, Shannon, I did say it doesn't have to be perfect, even though I'm trying my best at the same time to make it perfect. I know, I don't make sense, do I? Okay. Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect, especially when you're just laying it out, because it's just for figuring out your color order. I'm just trying to figure out, because I want to use the shortest pieces have to be in the this top area, because see, that's not long enough, and you need it to go right to the edge. So let me see. I'll take one of the longer pieces. Or I can angle it maybe a little bit. I wonder if I do this one there. See, this is it's like a jigsaw puzzle at this point. I'm like trying to figure out which one did I put where, because I don't think I cut the exact same pieces. You know what, maybe I'll turn it the same way that I have it on my card and see if it matches up that way. Okay, so let's put this one here. Oops. And I'll point it toward the middle again. See, this is why I can't do 2 cards in one live, because you guys would be sitting here all day. And let's put this one here. Then the green one. Oh, this is not quite long enough. You know what? I think I must have accidentally moved it over. Well, that actually, you know what? Like I said, the center does not have to be perfect because I'm going to cover it up anyway. So I'm going to let that one just match exactly. And I need the long one, the red, in this corner. And let's put this one here. Maybe I did cut the exact same pieces. Okay, and then red over here. No. How did I do this? Well, you know what? That one's not going to touch the center. That's okay. It's going to get covered up. Put this one here. She's poking fun at me. Sandra says she didn't really mean it, but I know she's poking fun at me. And this one here. It's okay. I know I'm like obsessive about making it line up perfectly. That's just me. You do you and I do me, and you know, People will like make umpteen cards more than I will because I'm much slower, but that is just this is how it goes for me. I can't not line it up. Okay, let's turn this one around. Okay, I think I got it to work. Woohoo! All right, so there's the card. All right, so that's the layout I'm going to go with. So I'm going to start with, let's see. I'm going to start with this guy because I lined him up right against the edge there. So I will do that one first as my starting. So I'm going to use glue. Thank you, Shannon. All right, so I'm going to use glue to glue this down. Oh, and I want my tweezers because that will help me hold it without getting glue all over my fingers. Okay, so actually, you know what I did? I think I actually just started putting glue straight on here because I knew from the layout approximately where it was going to go. But for the first one, maybe I'll just, because I don't have it laid out exactly, I'm going to glue it down first as my guide. All right. Whoops. I don't have a glue grip on this. Okay. All right. There we go. So this one I am lining up with the side of my card, or the mat. There we go. So that one's going to be my guide. Whoops. That's the good thing about glue too, is you have a little bit of wiggle room before it dries, because I can see that it didn't line up with the side. It had moved when I placed it down, but now it's good. All right, so I'm going to go from there. So I know approximately if I just line these up ahead of time, then I can just put it straight onto the cardstock. Okay, so approximately there. Oh my God. No, I will be too busy looking at my own card and trying to get it done because I am the slowest stamper. I won't be able to even look at yours or anybody else's because I'm too busy like analyzing mine and trying to get it done. Don't worry. And your cards are beautiful too, so I don't know what you're talking about. All right. So I am trying to make it a little bit narrower here and a little bit wider there to give it that sunburst effect. There we go. All right, so the next one, I'm just kind of lining it up so that I know approximately where. Okay, so I'm just going to put it right here. So I'm just going to go all the way around doing this. Looks good. Okay, this one I have to be careful because I have to make sure it goes at least to the edge there of the card. Okay. Good. So I'm just going to take a moment to realign things because it's throwing me off that the other pieces are moving. Oh, see, this one is angled too far over. Thank goodness I used glue. There we go. All right. I'm going to do this side. Whoops, I'm stuck to it. Got a little bit of glue stuck to my finger there. Okay, so let me just move these back so I have my guides again. So I don't want to put too much space or too little space. Otherwise the last triangle will look funny, I think, with maybe too much of a gap. So let me just fix that. See, there's a really big gap there. Oops. Trying to get the starburst look in here and just making sure there's not too much gap. It's kind of like almost like a puzzle piece. But like I said, the middle doesn't have to be neat. It's going to be covered up anyways, so that's okay. Let's put this in there. Okay, I think that looks better. All right, so I'm going to start gluing from this side now. I can't wait to try this out with other DSP for like other cards, right? Because like you can do this with so many different DSPs and get different designs. The cards I was looking at to do this as examples, they use like a little flower in the middle. Like they used a circle, but they used like the scalloped edge and made it into a flower. So that was cool too. Okay, this one's a little bit of funny angle, so I think what I'll do is I'll put the glue here. And you know what I was using? I forgot to get it out. Is my silicone mat. I just got that in my last order. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out how much glue to put on it because I don't have my silicone mat back here. Because the silicone mat, it won't stick to it, right? If I put too much glue back here and then I put it down on my cardstock and it's like, you know, showing or whatever, because I don't know what angle I'm on, actually. I should have just done this way, maybe. The glue will not stick your card mat to the paper because when you're if you use the silicone mat, it won't stick to the paper behind like it will on this one because the glue just comes right off. So here, let me get it out. So this is the mat I'm talking about. It has more uses. And I was using it the whole time when I was making my cards before, and I completely forgot to get it out this morning. So let me just transfer it on so that I can continue gluing and showing you guys. Okay, so yeah, so if my glue is showing behind, it will not stick me to my paper that I'm working on, and it just comes right off. So it's really useful for this technique. I can't believe I forgot all about it. Okay. Let's glue the next one down. Yes, I can do the mirror imaging demo, but I have to try it out a few times myself. I haven't done that yet, and I'm happy that I have a couple ideas for next week's this or that already. There's that, and then oh shoot, just put this down here. There's another technique I want to show you guys. There's a one sheet wonder technique also. There's a bunch of things I want to try. So I need more time in the day, honestly. Okay, just let me line these up again so I know approximately where they're going. Yes, so this silicone mat is going to come in very handy. Okay. Oh, that's a little bit narrow over here, so let me just move these down. Really, you know, I'm sure that it would be fine if I just went ahead. It's just me and my OCD with lining things up. Okay. Oh, the partial die cutting? Sandra says you could use the, oh, okay. You can use the silicone mat for partial die cutting. Okay, I did not know that. Sandra, I'm going to have to get you to show that one. Somehow we're going to get, I'm going to have to maybe loan you my, my camera holders so so you can demonstrate for us sometime how you did that, because I don't know that technique. All right, let me do the next one. Almost there. Okay. Okay, this one's not glued down yet. Just okay. Yeah, I have not done that partial one. I don't think I've ever seen. I'm sure. Oh, oh, okay. Sandra, don't stop posting. Either that, I guess maybe you'll have to point me to the technique. Although I don't have that die. I don't have that particular die, so I can't even show it even if I learned the technique. So I don't know. The mirror stamping I could do because I have everything, but the partial die cutting, that one, I don't know. I don't have that particular word die, and I'm not sure what else I'd have to think of a different layout to use that partial die cutting on that you did. All right, we're down to the last piece. Not too shabby. It's not even 10, is it 10 o'clock yet? Oh my goodness, we're getting close. I try to keep my lives, you know, around an hour. I don't want people to have to watch me obsess over lining things up for, you know, longer than that. All right, so that's all the pieces glued on. I'm happy with that. All right, so ideally I would let it dry longer because I don't want them to move. But what we're going to do now is we're going to trim everything off of these edges, okay? So let me get my trimmer out, move these out of the way. So I'm just going to line up the mat. Okay, I'm going to do it like this on one side. Actually, I wonder if I could do it. Yeah, I think I can do it this way. See, what I want to do is I want to line up this edge with the cutting. What do you want to call this? Does anybody have a word for that? Just with the groove where the cut goes, okay? Because I want it to just slice off everything that's outside of that. I just don't like having there's like a little lip that forms on the piece of paper on the underside, and because this is the front side of my card, I only want to do that once. The track, okay, yes, good word. Thanks, Shannon. Yeah, so I'll do it for one side and then I'll flip it over because then I can actually place it against the guides, okay? So I've lined it up against the track there. Get the scoring blade out of the way. Okay, and I'm going to slice off all the excess. Okay, let's move that out of the way, and now I can flip this over. And I'm going to use that straight edge as a guide, and then line up. I can see the edge of the cardstock there in my track, and I will cut this excess off. Oh, there's a little bit of extra glue behind that one. Okay, and I'll just keep rotating and I can line it up again. Okay. Oops. Last side. Beautiful. So look, does not look great. All right, so that now gets matted onto the larger piece of evening evergreen. Okay, so that's how it goes. I'm going to use, so see, I can see there's a little lip here. I don't know if you've ever noticed, but there's like a lip right here because I was pressing from behind, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my my bone folder, and I'm just going to, sorry, wrong side, this side. I'm just going to press it down. Okay, take away that little lip. All right, so now I turned it over so I could glue it down. So we'll put some Stampin' Seal on the back side. Oops. Oh, hi Maureen. How are you doing? Okay, so I'm just going to put this down on my mat. All right. Now I have seen some people pop this up on dimensionals, but I actually don't mind having it flat because it actually takes quite a few dimensionals to pop the entire thing up, but I actually don't mind having it flat, so I'm going to do just flat. Here's my card base. Oops, this is not the scored one. Where did I put the scored one? Here's the scored one. All right, so I'm going to fold this in half. I always make sure to line up my corners so I don't accidentally fold it crooked, even though there is a score line. Okay, and I'm just going to press the back too, so get a nice flat card. Okay, and I will adhere this now. And I want my Sunburst to start from here in this corner, so I'm going to put it this way. I could have done it that way, but this is the way I'm putting it for this card. Okay, all right, so now we're going to do a tiny bit of stamping. So I used the Let Your Heart Be Light sentiment. I thought it was a nice play on words for light and the whole sunburst thing, so that's why I chose that one, and it fits right into the circle die. So here's the circle die for that one. And where did that stamp go? Here it is. Okay. All right. So I'm going to get my Stamparatus out, my favorite tool. Now I did notice when I was stamping with this, with the cherry cobbler, my particular ink pad is very wet, and it was so wet that the ink was bleeding, and it was giving me fuzzy edges on my stamped image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to brush the ink to one side. I think I've showed you guys this before. Oh, let me just line this up first. Okay, so on my Stamparatus, I'm going to stick my piece of paper. and hold it down with the magnets. Okay. I put it that there. Let me just double check with the die that this is going to fit. Yeah, I think that looks okay. All right. Oh, and I think I have the extra mat behind here by accident. Okay, so with the cling stamps, these red rubber stamps, you don't need this extra piece of padding behind it. That's only used when you use the clear photopolymer stamps. So I'm just taking that out because I don't need it. Okay. These magnets are super strong. All right, so, all right, that's good. All right, so like I said, this ink pad is very wet. It's very juicy, not a bad thing. That means you're not going to run out of ink anytime soon. So I'm just going to take an old credit card. You can take any straight edge and just press and rub the ink to one side. Okay, I'm just going to clean that off. Okay, and now I'm going to ink up my stamp. Okay. That looks pretty good. I think I'm going to do it one more time, just very lightly, just to give it a little darker color. But it looks beautiful as it is, I think. Yeah, I could just leave it as is. All right, perfect. That's just a little bit darker. I'm going to clean off my stamp. This is just a chamois. It's just wet with water, and that's all you need to clean off this ink. Okay. Now I need my cut and emboss machine to die cut my sentiment out. Just making room here. And I finally switched. I finally got out new plates. My other one I finally threw it out because it was just so scratched up that everything was sticking to it. Actually, all my die cuts were sticking to it. But I have newer plates now, so that's good. Okay, so here's my die. Just gonna line it up. Okay, and I have a little piece of washi tape to help secure it, prevent it from moving. And let's run that through. Okay, I just leave my washi tape on the side of the machine and reuse it until it's not sticky anymore. All right, I'm just going to poke out the rest of the holes here. There's like little tiny holes that didn't get, there's little die cuts in them. That's good. All right, I'll have to make sure to clean those off so I don't have any dots accidentally stuck to my plates later. All right, so here's my card. Okay, so I put some, what do they call this? This is just gold ribbon, okay? And I'm just going to adhere it to the back. So I'm gonna put some tape on the back, Stamp and Seal on the back, okay? And I'm gonna put it across, and I'm going to stick it on before I actually pop this thing up on dimensionals. So I'm putting tape across the back. All right, and where's my example? I'm just going to fold the ribbon. I'm not going to make it a bow or anything. That makes it like very bumpy to work with. So I'm just going to leave it on the spools because I don't know how much I want, and this way it allows me to play with it and adjust it as needed. So it's a bit too much. I'm trying to copy my original. There we go. So I'm just sticking it to the back of my die cut. Okay, and then I'm just going to one more loop. Okay, and then I will trim it. So let's get a pair of scissors. There we go. It's a little bit crooked. I'm just going to fix that. There we go. I think that's good. All right, and then I just need some dimensionals to pop that up. So it's not a super complicated card. It's actually quite simple. It just takes a little fiddling around to, you know, line up your pieces and then glue them down. But it's actually quite simple, and I enjoyed making this card. It was, and I think I'll probably make some more. I'm going to try some other DSP and see how that goes. But these were fun to make. I didn't have to think too hard. There we go. There's the dimensionals, and let's put this down in the center. I think that's good. Perfect. And that is today's card. This is like, it was really easy. It was, you know, one of the easier cards that I've made, even though it looks hard. Well, it looked hard to me. I think it was actually, you know, pretty easy, and it's just so pretty, and you don't have to think so hard. You just use the DSP, and the DSP does all the work. It just does all the work in, you know, making this like so interesting to look at. And yeah, there's different variations, so I think I might try one for another variation for next week. Stay tuned. Maybe I'll bring in some more penguins too. But thank you all for joining me and for commenting. I love seeing your comments because, again, it's no fun talking to myself. You guys really make it when you're here. So thanks again for joining in, and have a great day, you guys. Bye.